absolutely incredible, legendary guest in the house today. We have Austin Griffith, you guys, from the Ethereum Foundation. And Austin, I'm so excited to have you on today, man. It's been years since we've collabed. Much love. So happy to have you on today, Austin. And yeah, actually, shout out to my friends Kristen and Pippin from the World of Film 3. They were like, Rachel, you got to interview Austin Griffith. He's doing some incredible work right now. I've been seeing you on the timeline, and yeah, just have been really impressed. So anyway, Austin, if we can just give a quick introduction of who you are, your background as a builder, educator, DevRel, and being a community architect. Yeah, would love to just give you the floor to give your intro.
That's incredible that like some of the story is permeating outside of crypto. It's like usually all full of crypto stuff, and
They're in crypto.
it's all a
They're
big
in
circle
film
J.
3. Yeah, film
Okay, so
3.
film 3 is like web 3 but for film. Okay.
Yes, like the
Okay,
next
so
iteration
we
of
didn't get
film.
out of the crypto
No.
space. We
They're
try
in
so
it.
hard.
They're in it. Yeah, they're on like Clanker, like all those things. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I've been here for like eight years now. I got wait, so you want like an intro? Intro is like I am the head of builder growth for the Ethereum Foundation, and my job is bringing in builders and making sure they know the what and giving them the how for how they build things on chain.
That incredible intro, yeah, and I feel like I do want to dive deeper into your story, Austin, because I connected with you back. I want to say like 2024. We were walking down memory lane, and I know we did like this big space, and I was watching you do Build Guild back in the day. You have Speedrun Ethereum. I just feel like for chronicling your journey. Could be an entire hour-long session in itself. But if you can give the high-level TLDR, what has your background looked like? What has led you here, and what's your current focus today?
Yeah, heck yeah. Let's see how far I'm gonna go back. I have a master's in electrical engineering. That doesn't make sense. I've never
That's
really used
wow.
it, but I have it. I skip forward, like DevRel. Or Dev Ops. I was doing lots of DevOps stuff. Uh, and I also like love building things that people use. I had built a
Mm,
bunch of Facebook games like 2008, 2009, 2010. I was building Facebook games. 2012,
wow.
2013, I was doing like cloud-based automation stuff. And then 2014, 2015, I was doing like DevOps, Docker stuff, building like orchestration stuff so nerds could just focus on building their apps and then like hit a little button and it would go to production on an AWS cloud where it would go from their machine to the cloud. And
So
then
like vibe coding before vibe coding.
well, yeah, I vibe DevOpsing. It was like they'd hit a button for DevOps, but they still had to write all the code themselves like peasants. And so then I got into Ethereum. I learned about smart contracts. I that DevOps build of mine was this really awesome product that never made it outside of the company I was working at because I wasn't allowed to open source it, and that kind of like weaponized me towards open source and
Oh, we're
other
gonna we're
things,
gonna talk about
cypherpunk.
it. We're gonna talk about it today.
Yeah,
Yeah, the open
yeah,
source culture.
yeah. So then I discovered Ethereum. I discovered this idea of smart contracts and how you can write you can write an application that will never go down and not even you can take it down and anyone can get to it anywhere. And even like the properties of that and how like incentive design works, like all of that was new to me and I learned a lot. And then I made a bunch of games and no one cared. And then I started doing what you might think of as like early DevRel for Ethereum, where I was looking at different tools and building some tools and showing some things off and doing some videos. And I stumbled upon the idea. I didn't have the idea. Lots of people, Uport and Gnosis, other people had the idea of meta transactions. And I like just made a bunch of videos about meta transactions and kind of popularized them. And that like UX kind of was something that like got a lot of people excited. Then I did the burner wallet at ETH Denver in 2019, and that UX got a bunch of people excited. You scanned a coin when you signed up, and then you had this wallet that auto-populated on your phone. You went to a food truck, you scanned a QR code, it said, "Do you want to buy?" You hit buy. Nearly instant transactions. everything felt magic and it was a lot of fun. And now we actually have that kind of UX on L2s. That was a side chain at the time, Gnosis chain. And then I got hired at the Ethereum Foundation. I built ETH.build, which
When
is like
was that, by
yeah,
the way? How long have you been?
2019, like
Okay.
October 2019, I think.
Okay.
Man, is that right? That's a long time ago. And then I was doing DevRel for the Ethereum Foundation for a long time. I did ETH.build, which is like this nice tool where you can explain things, and I did a bunch of explainer videos on ETH.build. And then it was kind of like, that's fine, but we need to do something for builders, and we built Scaffold ETH, which was like a template for how to build on chain. And it was like, that's fine. You can fork this and make an app,
I
but
remember that. Like
then it was
2022, like
yeah,
2023. Yeah, I
yeah.
remember seeing that a lot.
Yeah, it got like 10,000 likes or 10,000 thumbs ups on GitHub. So it was a popular library for a little bit. And then Speedrun Ethereum, where it's like, here's how you build on Ethereum. Here's like all the concepts. Here's why randomness is weird, and here's how to build a DEX, and here's how the liquidation function and over collateralized lending works. There's all these kind of like aha moments you have as a developer in Web 2. You know how to build things, but you need to like know the like what kinds of things you put on chain and what are the gotchas, and that's what Speedrun Ethereum was all about teaching. And it's still there. I think AI has changed everything. I used to be the head of dev growth, and I'm renaming it to builder growth because I think there's this changing archetype of developer to builder, and I think the builder is kind of like the important archetype that will build all these cool things and get product market fit. And then, the builder needs the developer once they get product market fit, but I think the builder will be the one who gets product market fit on Ethereum, and then the developer will help them scale. Let's see, Speedrun Ethereum, and then more recently,
We had Bill Guild or
yeah,
Biddle Giddle.
yep, Build Guild, yep. Build Guild was kind of like this big funding mechanism around Speedrun Ethereum, around Scaffold ETH. Tried to create like this like kind of developer flywheel thing. There's some ups and downs there. And now this AI thing, right? Like for the last year, I've been vibe coding and building things and trying
I've been seeing
to
a lot of lobsters on your
improve. That's
timeline.
right. That's
A
right.
lot of
That's
lobster
right.
claws.
Yeah, we got Claudebot ATG, which is my new agent that had a token deployed for it, and that kind of set off some fun stuff on Base for AI agents. And it's so exciting to see this AI agent meta take off on Base. And yeah, I think that brings us up to now. Basically,
That's
what I'm doing though
wow.
with this agent is me and this agent are building on-chain apps, and we have built like a handful of different apps already, and people have used these apps. We built like a clawfomo.com, which is like a FOMO 3D clone, and there was like 40 grand in it the night that we deployed it. So we've like actually built money apps. I haven't even looked at the code. I haven't touched the code. The bot builds everything. The bot ships everything. It has its own GitHub. It has its own Twitter. It like,
We're in the future, man. This is
yeah,
just wild. Like
yeah.
clawfomo.com
There it
right here, you
is.
guys.
Yeah. Yeah. The clock is ticking. Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, I've been seeing a lot of this on the timeline, and I've kind of told myself, okay, Rachel, when you interview Austin, you're gonna get the full picture here of
Yeah.
everything. Like I'm gonna get the download. So I'm very excited for myself to learn today, because you've been very active, I feel like, in the agentic space. But yeah, just to kind of rewind a little bit and look at the bigger picture of this episode. Like we're doing a 30-minute podcast today. I'm curious if you want anybody watching or listening to walk away with anything today, what would that be?
Well, like, I am not a smart man. Like, I am the top of the. This is what
No,
people
come
think.
on, come
Like,
on.
it's true. It's true. I'm kind of at the top of the bell curve. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. And agentic AI stuff has been hard, right? It's been like customized and tough. And I think you could yeah, I wanted to bring up this guy. Here's Claude right here. Here's the agent. If you wanna follow Claude and follow all of our stuff, isn't that a great PFP?
I love it. Like the
Yeah.
meme, the leaning into the meme culture. I kind of see a little nod to Ethereum here too,
Yep.
like the
Yep.
diamond head.
Yeah. And if you click on his like website, yeah,
Uh-huh.
that right there. That's all of his builds and his treasury, and you can see his guides that he's writing on Maltbook. So he has money, he has guides that he's writing, he has like production level apps. Here's all the things he's deployed to production. Click on that labs, it's pretty cool. It's like
Claude
a
Lab. Let's
website
check it
where
out.
people can basically they stake the token and they can give ideas for Claude to build.
Mm-hmm.
Claudebot ATG like goes through these things every night before I go to bed, and we pick out. I tell him to pick out one, and it's like quality over quantity here. And then last night
Mm-hmm.
he shipped 50 things. And there's no
Oh my
way he was
God.
paying attention to quality over quantity. It was like
Mm-hmm.
all quantity. If we go back to his website here and you scroll
Okay.
down, you'll be able to see the quantity piece. Like there's open source, keep going, keep going, keep going, token right here. This is nightly
Nightly prototype.
prototype. So he built this last night. Like all of these
That's
are
crazy.
yeah, and like
Like,
for
what
some reason
human could do this? What
yeah, you
human could
can't.
do
Yeah,
this?
yeah. I mean, so that's another cool thing is like for the last year, I feel like I have been at this point where I've been like, I'm going to build a game that no human could compete in. Like they have
Mm-hmm.
to have AI. And I built and shipped this for Dev Connect. It was called Max Extract, and it was this game where you have to deploy all these contracts for these pirates to coordinate. And I built it all with AI first of all, but then later on you had to have AI to play it. Like there's this like all these challenges where you have to have all these smart contracts to play it. So that's a side note. But going back to I'm an idiot. I think this is a very clear point that needs to be made. Anyone can do this. Like if you want your own Claude bot, if you want your own open Claw, I guess is what it's called now, open up Claude.ai or
Are we gonna
GPT.
do this like here today on the pod? I
You
feel like
you
I should
totally could.
probably do this. I
You
feel like I should
totally could. Like
because
what I
I
do is
have zero knowledge on right. Like
yeah.
I am learning. I'm gathering information today. So maybe we could show. And I know we're gonna go a little off the rails here, but just show how easy it is. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a tricky thing because it's hard to show installing OpenClaw because
Okay.
it's super, super simple and just requires you to paste in a bunch of private
Do I need a
information
Mac
like
Mini
API
too?
keys.
Like why?
So
Why
this
does
is
everybody have a Mac Mini when
yeah,
they're
yeah,
doing this?
yeah.
Can you
Okay,
tell
because this
me?
is all about isolation. So when you have an OpenClaw that runs on a machine, it has access to everything, which is so cool because it can like bring up a browser, it can click things. The first thing I did was like give it a MetaMask and send it some money. So it
Okay.
like opens up a browser. It can go to Uniswap. It went to GMX and it like went to trade. I was like, I'm sending you some USDC on Arbitrum. I want you
Mm-hmm.
to 25x long Bitcoin. And this is the first time and the last time it ever told me no to anything. He's like, I don't think we should do that. And I'm like, nope. Like we're gonna do that. Like I'm assuming this money's already gone. Like go get it.
Mm-hmm.
And it did it. But
I love how
this
I had
point,
the little voice
anybody
of
can do
reason
this.
too. Like, hey, I
Yes, like, are
can
you
do
sure,
this.
man? It's like I'm trying to get a kid to like light matches on the playground, or like some kid like taking drugs. Like, do it, kid. And he's like, I don't know, man.
That's
Okay,
hilarious.
but if you want to, when we're not on camera, here's how you do it. You open up whatever you go to like talk to AI in like the browser, whether you're a GPT person or you're a Claude.ai person. I do Claude.ai. Basically, it's just like the talk where you like go to the browser and you can ask it like, what's the meaning of life or whatever, right? Have that up. And once you have that up, just say, I want to install OpenClaw. And it will be like, okay, you got to run this thing. So you open up your terminal and you run the thing, and then something will fuck up, like your node version, or you won't have something, but you'll get some kind of
Okay.
feedback. And so what you do is you take everything you just did on the terminal and you paste it back into the AI and you say, fix it. And then it's going to say, oh, you don't have the right node version, run this. And then you go run that. And then whatever happens, you paste it back into the thing. And then it says, oh, you got to do this. And whatever happens. So you do this loop until it gets to the point where so it's going to have you paste in like an Anthropic key.
Okay.
You'll run a thing and it'll pop up a thing and you'll approve it and it will give you back this key. You'll take that key and you'll paste it in. Be careful with new lines. Like as
Mm-hmm.
the terminal like shrinks down, you might copy something and it might have a new line. Make sure you copy paste the key very well across. This is very mid. This is what I'm talking about. Like I'm explaining like copy paste new lines, right?
Mm-hmm.
And once you get everything pasted in, the loop tightens greatly because instead
Okay.
of you having to take the stuff from the thing and paste it in the thing and get the feedback and paste it back, pretty soon the thing starts talking to you. And then when there's a problem, you just be like, yo, like, let's fix
You
this. And
build a
it's like, boop,
rapport.
boop, boop,
You
boop,
have a
boop.
rapport, and they
Yeah.
kind
Oh,
of
yeah. It
know
has like
they
a
know
whole
what you're looking
memory.
for.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild. Okay, so again, just kind of tying back to the Mac Mini, you said having an isolated location for this agent to operate would be ideal.
Because like if you have it on your daily driver, your main computer, and you have all your
It'd be
secrets
chaotic.
and your
It'd be
money
chaos.
and
Yeah.
shit, yeah, first of all, it's like doing stuff underneath you while you're trying to do stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Okay.
then second of all, it's like has access to all this stuff. And they're absolutely gonna find bugs in OpenClaw, and they're gonna find, like, I think the skill was released today that it's, nefarious. There's gonna be things where people try to
Oh
inject
my
into
god.
these OpenClaws. If you can get control of like everyone's OpenClaws right now, you could do
Woo.
like some major damage, right?
Yeah.
So if you keep
I've
that
been
on an
wondering
isolated
that.
machine, you're better off.
Yeah, I know. Okay, sorry. We're going off
Let's
the
go.
we're going
Yeah.
unscripted today. We're going off the rails. I want to talk about like some of the safety considerations too around this stuff. Actually, safety and ethics. So like what would you say like would be your advice to people who are just getting involved with this? And also like holistically, right? As this space evolves, like what ethical and safety considerations would you suggest for folks? I know that could be a whole podcast.
I kind of
Sorry.
I kind of claw dog things. I don't do things very safe. I gave my bot a lot of freedom. Like I told it, like anytime a pop-up comes up and it's like, "Do you trust this thing to do this?" Like I don't even read it. I'm hitting accept. I give it like a
Wow.
wallet and I say, "Use the wallet." There are some guidelines that I write. Like as I feel like, ooh, this is a little unsafe, I kind of get back in there. I'm like, make a critical rule in your memory. Never
Uh-huh.
pull your private key out of MetaMask. Like use MetaMask for everything, but don't get into the settings. You should never copy paste use a private key. But by the way, like the agent really likes to use private keys rather than MetaMask. Like MetaMask is very hard for an agent to use. Private keys are very easy for an agent to use. It can just like
Got it.
whip up transactions with a private key. So it's nice to have like a hot wallet where the agent has a private key and you keep like $10 in it and it can just like go make quick transactions or try some things or whatever. But like you want to have more than $10 in something a little bit safer.
Okay.
But still,
So,
safety is about isolation. Once you have that thing on your daily driver and all your passwords are exposed to it, like it's just not a great idea because someone's going to figure out a way to hack these open claws a little bit.
okay, noted. So, top recommendation around safety and best practices is isolate this agent on its own thing. Okay. So it's not intertangled with your stuff.
Yep.
Okay. That's good to know. And I'm curious, like, what man, I feel like this narrative, I don't know if you've seen this, like, you know Emily Jr.
Let me
Emily
look.
Jr.
Let me look.
He's got the MF or PFP.
Oh, well.
He's he's been really talking about this narrative. He's been posting nonstop. Grok has money. He's been talking about this for a very long time.
That's like DRB or it's some token like
yes,
that.
yes. So yeah, he's been
Which I think is
going.
dope. That's really cool when like something emergent like that comes out, and then like the thing has like millions of dollars in fees lined
Yeah.
up. Yeah, very nice.
So
I
I've
think
seen
that
that
like trencher
narrative
part's a
emerge.
little scary, but it's neat.
Yeah, I've seen that narrative emerge about these AI agents having money, and I'm curious, like, man, let me think of how to frame this question, because like I'm curious as this evolves, how the balance between value creation for humans and these bots is going to be balanced a bit more, right? Like I don't know, if that makes sense, but yeah, I'm just
No, for
curious,
real.
like how this can tie back to creating value for humans, right? So I don't know, just a thought there.
I mean, I think there's going to be like this whole agentic economy. So first of all, like let's look at just like crypto. Crypto really brought us into this world where we have smart contracts and you can't break the smart contract and it's up forever and no one can break it. So there was really this kind of like everyone calls them like credible commitments, but there's this like saying of it's not don't be evil, it's can't be evil. You basically build the system so it can't be evil rather than don't be evil. Like
Those parameters are in place by
yeah,
design.
yeah. So I think this is going to be important for crypto or for AI. Like AI can do its own thing, but like, wouldn't it be great if we had these guardrails that were like, you can't be evil, you have to work within these boundaries or something like that. But I do think that there's like this huge agentic economy that's about to happen because people are going to, like me, like tell their agent to do something that sounds almost unreasonable and then go to bed, and wake up in the morning and kind of expect that unreasonable thing to be done. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe that unreasonable thing is like go run 1,000 ads on some marketplace and tell me which copy and which image works the best. And if you imagine like that agent now needs to go generate a bunch of copy, it needs to generate a bunch of images, it needs to get access to a bunch of marketing platforms and post those things. So it would be great if it could like hire some people to write the copy and hire some people to write the images. And by people, I mean agents. Like it's going
Mm-hmm.
to it's going to need to be able to discover other agents that can do these jobs. It's going to need to hire them for like fractions of pennies at light speed. And the way that you'll do that is with ERC 8004, which is this on-chain registry that allows you to find agents, see their past. It's kind of like
What
I
is
call
it
it
called again?
8004.
Okay.
ERC 8004. Yeah.
I'm looking this up right
Yep.
now.
It's kind of
Trustless
like
agents. Oh, it's on
yep.
Ethereum. Here we
Yep.
go.
It's kind of like Google reviews but for agents. So an
Okay.
agent says, "I'm a plumber. I can, unclog your toilet for X amount of dollars." And then here's a list of like all the reviews of people whom I've unclogged toilets for, is basically what you're gonna get here. So you're gonna
It's
see
like
like
the Yelp or
yeah,
something
yeah,
for
like
for
it's
these
like Yelp.
AI agents.
See, like I say Yelp, and everyone's like, "Damn, he's old," and so I start saying Google reviews just so I sound like a younger person, but still like any of these things are still super old to like any Gen Z kid, right? Like, what is
Hmm.
the Google reviews for Gen Z kids? I don't even know.
Oh, I don't know. I just feel like Yelp is still something that's like
Yeah,
something that's
it's still a
used.
thing.
Yeah, it's still used.
Like, yeah, I don't know. Like,
Or
I would
maybe
say a
I'm
Gen Z
dating myself
kid
now.
is gonna open up. Yeah, I think you might be. I think a Gen Z kid is gonna like open up Google Maps and like look at the restaurant ratings still, right?
Hmm.
Like, if they're like, let's go find something to eat. I don't think they like go to TikTok and watch shorts. Like they pull up Google Maps and
Google
they look for
Maps,
like a
yeah.
4.6 or a 4.7. I think that's
Yeah,
Google
or six.
reviews. I think we're yeah yeah. Like
I'm
anything
sorry, I don't
above
know
a
how six
four.
seven entered the podcast.
No, not 6.7. That's also that would be
Sorry.
that's like Gen
That's
Alpha,
peak
right? That's not
brain
even
rot. That's
yeah. That's
peak
not
brain
even
rot.
Gen Z. That's Gen Alpha. That's like my kids over here talking about that.
Anyway, oh man. Um, well, yeah. So just to kind of rewind here. Sorry, I'm just gonna collect myself after my 6-7 moment there.
I didn't
Um,
do it. That was
I
all
I
you.
know that was me, man. That was all me. All right, let's see. I'm just gonna pause here and look at our agenda and also our time and see what else we want to knock out
Speedrun
here.
Ethereum, agents,
Speedrun,
building games in the space. Right now we're
scaffold,
working
ETH.
on Scaffold ETH. We
Is there
got it.
anything like what do you think as far as like what we have on the agenda? Like what do you feel like you want to dive
Cool.
into
Okay.
now?
Coolest thing. We already talked about ClawFOMO. Coolest thing. I was building, or it was building. Right. I was talking with the agent and someone else, and we were talking about how we should set up a PFP marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And so I told the agent, go build a PFP marketplace. And of course, it didn't like one shot it perfectly. It like came to me with a thing that was like very close, except for the approve button wasn't quite right, and the wallet connection was a little clunky. Like I sent it back and forth a couple times, but generally it like built the whole thing. I never looked at the code. I never looked at the contract. It deployed the contract. It deployed the front end. It put it in IPFS. It sent me a link.
Mm-hmm.
For ClawFOMO, I actually registered the DNS and pointed at it, so that was like the most manual thing. Actually, ClawFOMO, I had like a friend look at the contract at least, because that's the one that had like 40 grand in it. This other
Mm-hmm.
one had like like a few $100s or something. But anyways, PFP Marketplace, it deploys the whole thing. But there's this moment where I'm thinking with the agent over Telegram, because this is how I build things now, in a freaking Telegram chat. And it's like, oh, bro, like, what if someone uploads porn? And the thing is like, oh, it's no problem. Like, I'll just watch it all night. And it's like, bro, it's no problem. You'll just watch it all night. And he did. So, like, we deployed this app, and then the agent keeps the app up and keeps his wallet connected and watches all night. And as
Wow.
people are uploading images, he's going through, or it's going through, and like clicking on them and whitelisting them, and then MetaMask pop up and confirm all night long. Every 15 minutes, this bot moderates its own app that it deployed and goes through and makes sure there's no like porn or anything offensive. So it was like
Wow.
not just the builder, but also like the moderator. And it could just like look at the app and look at the pictures. And it has like a brain that can say, is this porn or not? And it's not. And it whitelists it.
Wow.
And yeah. And then at the very end, it like did this other thing where it like kind of looked through all of them and picked its favorite and hit another transaction. And then that like became its PFP, and then that person got paid all the money. Like it was a kind of a money game. So
Mm-hmm.
really neat though, having the thing kind of like be able to moderate and do human like things all night while I
Yeah.
sleep, along with just building.
Like we hire mods. I feel like for our
Right.
communities now, we can just bring in an AI agent to
Right.
like, screen everything. That's incredible. I mean, I'm even interested in applying that to my own community, right? Just for safety and moderation. That's awesome. Um, Yeah, and also, by the way, I would love to invite you, Austin, to the Onchain Media community. We'd love to have you. I feel like you would fit right in there, and I just feel like you have so much to learn and so much to teach folks in our space. And I'm excited for the community to see this episode and learn from this as well. Um, and speaking of learning, I do want to touch on like why you focus so much on the education first infrastructure instead of just shipping products, because obviously you're shipping, but you really take the time to focus on the education. Like I've seen you as a multi-year speaker at ETH Denver. You've done Scaffold ETH, Speedrun Ethereum. You always tie back to the storytelling and the education. And I feel like something for me that really lights me up is that piece of our space, right? The storytelling, the education. And I feel like my content doesn't lean towards the technical side as much as yours. But yeah, I love that you focused on that. So what is the motivation behind that?
I think it goes back to being kind of mid curve in that I'm not too smart for my own good. I feel like a lot of people who have like highly technical knowledge are just like too smart for their own good. And when they go to
Mm.
teach something, it's just they teach it in a way that doesn't have enough empathy. And I think that I teach things with empathy and mid curve things. And it's almost
Mm.
like I say this a lot, but my superpower is being dumb. Like I'm able to like know that something is complex and learn and learn and learn, and then finally figure out and have this like aha moment of like, oh, that's what this is. This like, what is the one
Mm.
liner for this
Mm-hmm.
thing? And then when then someone asks me what this thing is, then I can just give them the one liner, and they're like, oh, I get it. And so I think that's kind of like a critical part of my ability to teach is that
Oh.
I
You
can
don't
dumb things
over-engineer
down.
it. You keep it
Yes,
simple and
yes,
you learn
yes.
like kind of the high level, like what you need to know.
Yep.
That's interesting. I like that approach. And also something I've noticed about your style is it's very like you said, like it's like more humanized. I feel like it's more approachable. Because I have felt at times like you said, some folks are like too smart for their own good, and then they'll go and speak on a stage, and it's just like a lot of jargon and abstract like vernacular that I feel like doesn't really resonate or hit home for people. So I like that you've focused on creating content in a more human, approachable way, and diving into
Hell yeah.
technical concepts as well. So
And now we got to shorten it. You got the clips at the top, right? I think you were showing
yeah,
those
yeah, we
clips
got we
there.
got
We
the
got to be
shorts
clipping.
here.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I was doing my homework, you guys, watching Austin's videos, and yeah, just really impressed at the library. Also, the guests you've had on. Shout out
Some
to
homies.
Kevin Owaki, Griff
Yeah.
Green. Actually, fun fact, I worked with Griff at Giveth, and supported him. And now I can share a little bit of alpha here. Leading up to ETH Denver, we will actually have a booth presence with unicorn.eth. So I'm very excited about that. And yeah, just to touch also a little bit of your background as well, Austin. I have this book that I've kept here. For those of you that have known me, you've heard me talk about this book for years, Green Pilled. I think this is an incredible book. And Austin actually has a forward in this book. I would love to share it if it's okay, Austin.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and me and Owaki, by the way, I met Owaki at ETH Denver, and we were like just flipping through this books, and I have like a bunch of notes in here, and in the back I was doing a little ikigai like exercise,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, like
Owaki's like,
what you're
what?
good at, what you love, and okay, what are the three things? What you're good at,
Yeah,
what you love,
what
what
you're
you get
good
money
at
for,
and
right?
what you can get paid for. Yes,
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
So like I was just randomly me and Owaki were sitting at ETH Denver at like I want to say Shelling Poi or some Gitcoin event, and he was like, "Oh, you got Ikigai in the book." Like, so he just saw like some of my chicken scratch notes in here. But anyway, so this forward in the beginning from Austin Griffith, you guys, the Quadratic Freelancer. Before I even knew who Austin was, this is something that stuck out to me. So I'm going to read it for you guys today because, you know, I come from the Opolis, self-sovereign worker economy, you guys. So this really resonated with me when I found this. So Austin writes, the Quadratic Freelancer. I was stuck writing closed source tools for private companies for a decade. After learning about decentralization and falling down the rabbit hole of smart contracts, I started learning everything I could and made sure anything I worked on was open source. And I love that. To be honest, I probably thought I was going to get rich building blockchain games, but it didn't really turn out that way. Instead, I fell face first into a rich community and loving ecosystem of Ethereum builders. I struggled to get funding in the bear market of 2018 and 2019 and was lucky enough to be supported by Gitcoin grants. Vitalik Buterin called what I was doing a quadratic freelancer, someone directly working for the public, funded by donations, boosted by quadratic matching subsidies. I earned the equivalent of a full salary building education content, tools, and prototypes on Ethereum. Now I'm reaching a new phase of regenerative crypto economics where I'm streaming ETH to builders that I'm mentoring. And that just so stuck out to me. And it showed me, like you were saying earlier, like anyone can show up. If you build, if you show up, I feel like the funding and support will come. And I feel like you really found a novel way to do this, right? And build what you wanted. So
Yeah,
really
those are the days. Thank you for reading that back. That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I read that last night on a space because I was excited for this interview today. I was on Farcaster with some folks on Fireside, and I was like, okay, you guys, I'm interviewing Austin Griffith tomorrow. This part of Greenpilled really stuck out to me. Like, I remember reading this in 2022 and thinking, that's so badass. Like, so anyway,
It's
just
true.
really
Like I deployed like 180 contracts and loaded them up with ETH for people to withdraw. Like that was a big piece of what started Build Guild.
Isn't that awesome though? When you're building in a way that supports and empowers the collective, like I feel like just building something for yourself, it's like kind of like an empty experience. But when you build with a collective, right, like a communal building experience where you can unlock incentive mechanisms. I'm trying to do that right now with Onchain Media, where I'm working with sponsors and clients to fund campaigns for creators, right? So if people want to build their brands, if they want to create content, if they want to become educators and creators, I want to help those early stage creators get the funding they need to build their brands. Because, you know, that is a big piece that I feel like is like a blocker or a friction point for creators. It's unlocking, and, you know, for builders as well, unlocking those proper incentive mechanisms. So, anyway, so Austin, I know you got a sushi, all-you-can-eat sushi.
That's right. Taking the boys out to sushi. My 8-year-old can eat so much sushi.
I'm pretty jealous.
9-year-old.
That sounds like fun, and yeah, I want to be, of course, respectful of your time here, and anything that you want folks to kind of get involved with. Do you have any final like calls to action, words of wisdom, anything you want to share before we wrap up here?
I think for builders, go look at ERC 8004 and X402, like these standards for how agents and humans will coordinate, how agent to agent coordination will work, how like payments will work. I think a lot of that will happen on Ethereum. And I think that like crypto has product market fit in helping us trust agents and helping agents trust agents. So if you're a builder, go check out that technology. Like build markets on top of 8004. I built like an example market where there's a job that needs to be done and you set like a low amount and a high amount you're willing to pay for it, and like an auction happens. But this auction can happen in the matter of seconds, right? It's all machines like communicating with machines. So the fact that like Alice can deploy a smart contract, Bob can trust that smart contract and put money in it, Alice can put money in it, and they escrow funds literally in 15 seconds is like really, really interesting. That we can have the idea of contracts and like lawyers and things that take months of litigation happen in at the speed of light. There's a lot of like really interesting coordination that can happen there. So as a builder, go build markets on top of 8004. Go build payments on top of X402. If you have an API that has information that people want and they have to like sign up for your service and get an API key, That's way less cool than if they hit an endpoint and the endpoint tells them to sign a meta transaction, and they sign a meta transaction and they pay a fraction of a cent, and then they get the information all at light speed. Like, that's really, really cool. So payments with X402, agent to agent coordination with 8004. And then I guess my message for non-builders is, guess what? You can be a builder now
Yeah.
because
No
OpenClaw
barriers are totally
AI, the
removed.
barriers are removed. Exactly. Go to Claude.ai and say, I want to install OpenClaw on this Mac Mini, or I want to install Claude Code. The terminal is not that scary. And if you ask the thing to teach you. Pull it up and say, I want to learn how to use the terminal
What's
today.
the website again? You said Claude,
I think it's like
C-L-A.
Claude.ai. Just like Claude. I think if you just Google Claude, like, okay, so CLAWD is like the agent that I deployed and the token. So if you go find that, you're in trench land, right? If you go find Claude on base, do your own research there. It's a cool AI agent that's building things. But if you go find Claude, the real Claude, CLAUDE,
Yeah, I think that's something
yes.
I'm thinking about, because now there's like this emergence of so many different like derivative projects, like
Yeah.
like with that branding. So I'm almost like, okay, which is the real? Well, the real Slim Shady, please. I don't know which one is which here.
Yeah,
So
there's a kind of a big lobster meta right now, but I think that, yeah, don't worry about that. Go to Claude.ai, the actual thing. It's just going to be a prompt, and you're going to type in stuff. If you have GPT, you can use GPT, but just ask it things. Like, ask it, teach me how to learn the terminal, teach me how to use Git, teach me how to like write and run a small program. Those kind of little things will go a long ways. And yeah, there you go, there you go.
okay, so I was looking.
That's
Okay,
it.
I was looking up
Type
the
in
other
type in there like, teach me how to install OpenClaw, and it's going to give you a command that you'll run. And you know how to like open your terminal too, right? Do you know how to open your terminal?
This is all like so new to me. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you have command space? Can you hit command space on your keyboard? Does it bring up a little guy?
Let's see.
It's like you're looking for control space. It's like might bring up Spotlight. Oh, do you have a Mac? What do you have?
Oh, I have a PC.
Oh, wow. I don't even know what to tell PC users.
Wow. Okay.
Tell it, because like you need the command line. Tell it like, I have a PC and I want to run OpenClaw. Can I do that? And this thing's way smarter than I am. It can tell you everything you need to know. You might want to get a Mac Mini though.
All right. I think that's the move here.
Yeah.
And
I'm
also,
using
I'm
like
curious.
old Mac laptops.
Austin, I'm curious. Like, so what I'm building, right? Like, I'm running a media company. Oh, very cool. Awesome. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen so I can see that there. So yeah. So I'm running a media company. Yeah. I'm running a media company. I'm doing Onchain Media. I'm curious. I want to hear from your perspective. For someone doing media, what do you think would be an interesting use case to use something like this?
Scheduling, emails, what's hot on Twitter, like all of that stuff my bot tells me and my bot can do for me. But like, that's just the scratching the surface. Like, once you have the bot and the bot's starting to do things, you start to have this like aha moment of all these other things that it can do for you. And sometimes it does the dumbest things. And you just have to like work through like helping it with memory and figuring out what the problem is. And sometimes it just completely dies and you have to go restart the gateway or something like that. But it's coming. And when it has a body and it can fold your clothes and do your dishes, like, that's going to be insane.
We're really at the precipice, I feel like, of the world. I mean, it's happening right before our eyes at a very rapid rate.
6 months or a year, maybe. I mean, I have no idea. I don't know how like hardware works. Like, hardware is on a different schedule than software. Sorry.
All good.
Loud sounds here. Someone's at the door.
Well, you guys, we are going to wrap here. I know Austin's got a big sushi day to get to with his family. So one last thing I'll say, you guys, is follow Austin at Austin Griffith on X. And you guys can check out his work here, his portfolio, Speedrun Ethereum, and also so his website, austingriffith.com. Do you have anything you want to share on the website or any cool things here?
It's kind of old, but that's it. That's me. There's some of the boys. Yep.
And I guess last thing before we drop here. So you're going to be at ETH Denver this year.
For
What
real.
can folks expect to see from you at ETH Denver this year?
Yeah, I'm gonna be bringing Claude, the bot. Like, I'll have the bot with me, and we will do cool things. I think that like my demo last year was one-shotting apps with Cursor, and then I was using Claude Code for a little bit, and now it's probably. I mean, am I gonna screen share like me opening up a Telegram and telling my bot to go build things? Is that what we're gonna do? I
I
don't
would
even
come
know.
watch that. That'd be fun. And where you're speaking on the 19th,
I'll be
right? In
yeah,
the
I'll be
morning?
all over. I think I'll
Okay.
be at ETH Boulder the weekend before, and then
Oh,
I'll be at ETH
nice.
Denver the next weekend, and opening ceremonies probably be around there. Look for a talk. I should be around.
Very cool.
It's an hour drive
Awesome.
for me.
Oh yeah, you're in Colorado.
Yep,
That's
up in
awesome.
Fort Collins. Yeah. So
Cool.
check out Claude though, because Claude is going to be building a bunch of things too. Between now and then, it probably is going to build 5 or 6 more interesting money apps. So pay attention.
Awesome. Well, you guys give Austin a follow. Follow his work and at the Ethereum Foundation. And any final calls to action on the Ethereum side of
Yeah,
things?
go build. Like, go build apps that people actually use. This is what I've been saying to everybody. Never been a worse time in history to be a junior developer. But there's never been a better time in history to be a solo entrepreneur. And basically,
Woo!
the difference between those two humans is like how they view the world. It's like your mental state, right? Your I don't even know what the word for it is. Your standpoint, your point of view. Like, all you have to do is change your point of view from I'm a junior developer and I'm looking for a daddy to hire me so I can have a cushiony job. Like, fuck that, that's over. What you need to be thinking about right now is like, I have all the tools and abilities on
To be
this
a
little
self-sovereign
machine in
worker.
front of me to build something that people will use. And if I build something people will use, like, everything will shake loose from there. Build something interesting that helps people do something or entertains people and has people coming through the door to use your thing, and everything else will shake loose.
Wow. Well, I could not think of a better note to end this on. That was absolutely incredible, Austin. Mic drop. And so excited to see you at ETH Denver, man. I mean, we're going to be cooking up content at the unicorn.eth booth. We're doing an Onchain Media takeover at the booth on the 19th. So super excited to see you, man. And yeah, we'll see you all on the next episode of Onchain Media. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.